Perfect. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Can you believe it? Week 7. Oh my gosh. I wanna congratulate. Where did I put that little slide? I want to congratulate Team Magic for getting your little sacred time guardian gem like a pack of bosses for those of you who are participating today. Freaking legends. And, hopefully some of you have got your little diamond gems. Hopefully some of you are getting the dream stuff happening. Just wanting to celebrate all of you as you know that I just need to do it. It's like a thing. I have to give the love. I have to give the love. I have to give the celebration. I can't help it. That's just how I roll. I don't know. I can't help it. That's how I roll. All right, let's do this. Let's kick it off. Kick it off, bunnies. All right, letting more people in the room, welcoming everybody here. And let me go. All right, amazing. All right, my darlings. So, welcoming all of you here. And yeah, let's do this. Like I'm blown away that we're already in week 7. Just a reminder that I am always on the lookout for the Grandmaster Quest type, not in a creepy way, not in a creepy way, just in a way that I adore you all. And I'm looking out for someone who's a friggin' legend. Excited to be here. Yes, I thank you, Avara, for that. Yes, Avara messaged me, told me she can only listen in because she needs to get to work early. Thank you for being here on the listening end. No problemo at all. Just a reminder, as always, of our intentions. We are here to create an epic portal of love, to create a system of intuition for life, and to really create change in all areas of our lives. Yeah, freezing, excited, and sleepy. Love it. All right. Now, where are we up to? Let's get situated. As we know, last week we finished Quest 1. What a pack of legends. What a pack of legends for nailing Quest 1. I meant to ask you, can you guys pop it in the chat? What did you receive in the award ceremony? We had those options of receiving the staff or the ring or the cloak or something else. Do people want to pop what they got? I forgot to ask you and I was left like a curious bunny. I was like, damn it. I personally, when I did it as a solo quester, I received the most epic cloak. Like it was this white buffalo skin cloak with this big love heart on the back. Anyway, it was a whole thing. Does anybody want to pop in the chat what they got? Maybe no one got anything. What happened? What happened? Did people get things? Pop it. A wreath and a basket with a golden egg. Oh, sweet mercy. How freaking epic is that? Hopefully you have been interpreting that. If not, welcoming people's we're here to support each other, welcoming people's interpretations of what that could mean for divine Abara. Amazing. Okay. So yeah, if you want to pop those in the chat, I'd love it. The staff. Gonna go and find it in real life and make it hell to the yeah, honey, hell to the yeah. Don't forget to talk to Shawnee in the Facebook group if you want to know more about making a Wanderer staff. He is making that. And also John Mark is epic at making cool stuff. So we're here to support each other. If you've got questions, hopefully you're willing to support each other with the making of these epic tools and amulets. We are in Quest 2 now, Master Crown. So for today and next week, we're going to start really looking at how we can fine tune our tools and start getting very clear on the tools that work for us. That's what we're going to do today, and that's what I'm going to be doing in the guided journey. And next week, we're going to be really looking at what kind of healer we are and how we want to use remedies and the concept of healing, remembering that we are all intrinsically connected to the divine. And we're all basically healers right now as we are without learning one more thing. It's just about accessing and activating that within us. So, and after that, the last 2 weeks are going to be the honor wand, where we really look at how do we use our tools to be of service in the world, and then how do we bring all these 10 weeks together to integrate it in a day-to-day life. Okay, last week, mission 6 We did some dream analysis in the breakout times. We started looking at rituals, altars, ceremonies, moon magic. We did a beautiful journey looking at all posse, knowing, getting our mission and our first award ceremony. We did some speed reading, created our posse healing, and started the journey of the major arcana. Today, we're going to kick straight off with a breakout, with some breakout time. And we are going to look at our soul blueprint today in the master tip. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be really cool. We're going to look at a whole bunch of ways that you can access your soul blueprint. The journey today, we are going to take a ride into the planets, to see what the planets have to tell us personally for you. And we are going to look at more information on mastering our tools and remedies. We're going to do some speed reading. We're going to give some feedback, continue and finish the journey of the tarot, finishing the last 11 cards in the major arcana. So, without further ado, we're going to acknowledge country. I thought I might just see if there's any brave bunnies today. Is anyone feeling brave who would like to acknowledge country for the group? I have it on the screen for you. Is anyone feeling courageous? If you are, take yourself off mute. And if you would just like to honor and acknowledge country for the group, I would love that. It's okay if not. I'm going to give it about 10 seconds to see if anyone volunteers.
I'll volunteer. I'll
Yes,
volunteer.
I felt if I waited long enough, someone would do it. Yeah. Yes, babe. Yes. I love that. All right, honey, I have got you so we can see you. Yes, beautiful. Please just tell us, I would love for you to just bring Posse into the space.
Yeah, so just connecting into this land that we reside on, wherever you are, just feeling the earth beneath you and connecting from the base of you down into this earth. And for me here, I'm on Boonwurrung country in Victoria. And so wherever you are, connecting into that, just taking a moment to presence it, to feel that connection to the earth, to the country, to this land, to the gatekeepers that have been here for so long, for generations, holding, preserving this earth so that we can be here in ceremony and ritual together, and just breathing into that space in reverence for all that it beholds, that it takes, that it mulches throughout the remainder of today as we gather together from all over this country, continuing to breathe into your body down into the earth. And then whatever posse you feel most connected to, whether that be the angelic posse, whether that be the mushroom posses, whatever posse it is that you feel most connected to, just calling upon them, bringing them into the space, bringing them into your heart, feeling the holding as we come together in ceremony, in ritual, in breath, as one, and handing it back over to our beautiful sister Aaila as she continues to take us through today. Thank you, my love.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nick. I would love for us, please send some love to Nick and, pop something in the chat. Send some love to Nick for her courage to just step up, as a leader. Thank you, honey. Thank you, honey. Love you. And thank you so much for that. And I'm going to start inviting people to do that over the next 3 weeks because that's what we're doing here. We are becoming masterful in activating and connecting with spirit. And this is ours to lead together. So thank you so much, Nick. Now, without further ado, my darlings, we are going to step straight into a breakout room today. And now let me grab this breakout room. Da, da, da. And what we're going to do, okay, we are going to, okay, perfectly. We've got two people in each room, which is awesome. That is exactly what we want. And what I invite you to do is um, today, the focus is going to be mastering tools, getting clear on which tool, which maybe top two or three tools are the ones that we really have a gift in and just our soul is calling us to expand. And the other thing we're really going to be looking at are seeds on our soul blueprint. What is something about the core of our being that we need to know? So the invitation is when you are receiving the reading to ask for information or a message on one of those two things. You don't have to. You can ask about any of the 12 things, 12 sheets, your mission, anything you want, you can ask, but that's my invitation for you. So without further ado, I'm going to put you straight in the rooms. And the person whose name starts closest to the end of the alphabet, you are doing the reading first. And you are going to get 3 minutes each. I will speak it over to do a swap. So enjoy, my loves, and I will see you on the other side. There has just been a latecomer in the room. So the room that has three people, I invite two people to do the reading and one person to receive. And just if you guys can just work that out, that would be perfect. Thank you. And I will swap your room over sooner. For those of you watching the recording, I invite you to do the same as I have invited people into the breakout rooms to do some type of reading for yourself, involving either your soul blueprint or what your core tools are and how you can create more magic and more and activate your skill set with your core tools. See you on the other side. Hello, hello, and welcome back, darlings. Welcome back. Does anybody want to pop in the chat? How was that? How was that? How is it kicking off with a breakout room? I think it's great. Yes. And I'm so sorry, Avara. I freaking put you in I forgot that you weren't active. And so that's my bad. I'll make sure I remember for next time, honey. Um, how did we go, guys? Too quick every time. Did we get some good stuff? I think it's always nice to start. It's okay, able to jump in. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll make sure I won't do it next time, Avara. Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, my loves, we are going to go straight into our journey. I've got something pretty cool planned. Okay, amazing. Made so much sense. Got a lot out of that. Thanks for that feedback, Fanine, Audrey. I think it's really helpful for people to get the feedback on the readings, also for people in the recordings. If anybody still wants to pop anything in that chat, on how that was for you, please sing it in and I will read it out for the group so that we all know what's happening. Now, one thing that is super cool is that we have worked our way through the sacred tools and through the recharge remedies, And so, what we're going to do in our journey today is we are going to do a planet ride. And we're going to ask for some more information on the tools and the remedies, okay? And we're going to move our way through the planets. It's going to be really cool. I'm really actually looking forward to it. So, let me just read out a couple of little epic things that people have said. Oh, thank you for your reading. Resonates completely. People are beautiful. All right, people are so sweet. Now, if people want to just make sure that you've got some blank paper, any of your notes that you think you might need, you're definitely going to want blank paper and a pen, getting into your comfy spot. And we are going to go straight into our journey, darlings. We are going to go straight into our journey and so getting nice and comfy. Thank you, beautifuls. People saying it was my honor. People are so beautiful. Thank you for your reading. Resonates completely. My honor. Finding yourself, as always, on our sacred forest path. Finding yourself moving along your sacred forest path. Shards of light pouring through, little scurrying, sweet little creatures, and you find yourself in the clearing. And behind the clearing is your mountain. Today, with absolute ease and grace, as though taken and lifted by the wings of an angel, you are just elevated straight up this mountain, as though you are gliding, almost flying, landing you at the top of the mountain and at the entry to your personal soulscape, your soulscape. And you find yourself being moved immediately towards the Magic Power Palace, being guided towards the Magic Power Palace. And so you go there and you step straight inside the Magic Power Palace, and you are surrounded by all those psychic languages that we have activated so magnificently, all the portals. But today, there's something different that you're meant to do in the Magic Power Palace, because right in the center of that palace, in whatever figure you see laid out, are the 7 sacred tools, of doing journeys, of doing oracle and tarot cards, of using books for messages, of scrying, of automatic writing, of psychometry, and of dream work. You see the 7 sacred tools laid out before you in some way, or you sense them, feel them, or simply know they're there. I want you to now look at which of these 7 tools are lit up. It might be 1, it might be 2, it might be 3, it might be all of them. Which ones are really lit up for you the most? Which ones are activated? Which one is calling you? Whichever one is calling you the most, I want you to step towards that little activation portal now, in whatever way it's there for you. Let your energy drop completely into the energy of that tool. And I want you to ask that tool, does it have a message for you today? Is there something that you need to know or do to further activate the miracle and magnificence of that tool? And now tuning in to see, is there any other tool that also is calling to you? If so, going towards that now, standing before it or upon it, and once again dropping in to connect with its energy, feeling the bond, and asking that tool, is there anything you need to know or do right now? And if there's any final tools that are singing out, saying, I have a message for you too, just giving one final chance for any messages from tools that want to give you a clue or a hint on how further to activate them. What do I need to know or do right now to activate your magic? Jotting all those messages down. Thanking this Magic Power Palace. Walking out of the palace and immediately finding yourself at the gate or the entry point of your healing temple. When you step inside your healing temple today, there is going to be a clue revealed to you around the recharge remedies. Are you meant to work with plants? Are you meant to do earth remedies? Are you here to do things with color therapy? Are you here to work energetically with posse? Let's find out if there's any of these remedies, or let's also find out if there's something completely different that you are here to activate your healer. I want you to step in now to your healing temple, and before you will see these different recharge remedies represented in some way. The plants through energetic essences, touching, digesting plants, tinctures and oils. The earth remedies using crystals, shells, rocks and the elements themselves. Color therapy using clothing, eating or drinking color, or color immersions via lights. Or creating or using posse energy in some way, perhaps making essences or embodying their energy. Tuning in to these 4 possible ways, and also the absolute infinite number of other ways that there are of activating healing. And so seeing space in your healing temple for these 4, but also a 5th space for anything else that is your greatest healing tool and the greatest activator of your inner healer. Moving towards the one that feels most true, the one that is lit up the most for you. And asking that remedy, what does it want you to know or do right now to activate its magic? What does it want you to know or do to activate its magic? And now, I want you to find yourself stepping outside of the healing temple, thanking anything that has arrived for you, bringing clarity to who you are as a sacred healer, the healer within. And I invite you to move towards the creation portal, immediately finding yourself there. And we are about to take a ride through the planets to see what these magnificent galactic beings have for you today. And so now, what I want you to do in 1 second, when you open the door of the creation portal, there is going to be a door within that says planet activation. And so once you open the door to the creation portal, which I invite you to step in now, I want you to move towards the door that says planet activation. And I now invite you to step straight inside the planet activation portal, and you will find yourself flying through the sky, flying through the stars. But you are not afraid. You are fearless. You are powerful, and you are so ready for this planet journey that we are about to go upon. And the first planet that you are going to go and have a little play with is the moon. The beautiful moon revolving around our gorgeous planet Earth. I invite you to go straight towards the moon and do some flying. You have superhuman magical powers and strength. Zap yourself around the moon, land on the moon, do whatever you desire. Everything is effortless. You can breathe easy. You need no special tools. And the moon represents your emotional self. And I want you to ask the moon, what does the moon want you to know or do right now? What does the moon want you to know or do about your emotional self? Jotting anything down. And now finding yourself stepping off the moon and flying straight through the sky, right up to the sun. But it's not burning you, it's just warm and cozy and toasty, and you have magical powers, so there is no problem at all. The sun represents how you shine as a being. The sun represents your sun sign or your star sign. How does the sun want you to shine personally? What is the message from the sun for you today? Jotting that down. Thanking the sun, blowing it a little kiss, if you will. And now zipping away from the sun to Mercury, gorgeous Mercury, our little cutie that is all about how you communicate, how you think, how you speak, how you talk, how you teach, how you write. Mercury activates your words and how you connect with the world. What does Mercury want to share with you? What does Mercury want you to know or do right now? Jotting it down. You might get symbols, feelings, thoughts, energies, jotting anything that comes, trusting yourself, trusting Mercury, our speedy little planet of communication. And thanking Mercury, waving goodbye to Mercury, and zipping away from Mercury towards Venus, the planet of who, how, and what you love. Gorgeous, luxurious, indulgent, fulfilling, magical Venus. What does Venus want you to know or do right now? What does Venus want for you? And now moving towards the planet Mars, our planet of work and drive and action, feisty Mars, zipping straight over to Mars. And once again, asking Mars, hello, Mars, what do you want me to know or do? Jotting anything down, trusting yourself. And now waving goodbye to Mars, completing all of our personal planets, the moon, the sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. They are the ones that really impact who we are as a being. They are our personal planets. We are now going to get to know our social planets that take a little longer to change signs. Let's go straight to Jupiter. Jupiter, the planet of luck and joy and what expands us. Zipping straight over to Jupiter. You might be jumping on Jupiter's rings. Whatever you choose to do, this epic planet. I want you to tune in now to the biggest planet of our solar system and ask, what does it want you to know or do right now? Jotting that down. Thanking Jupiter for its wisdom, waving goodbye. And now you see Saturn with those magical, very visible rings. And you jump over to Saturn and you say, hello, Saturn. Saturn is like Godfather energy, a bit of tough love, presenting challenges and obstacles for us to overcome, presenting structures, forcing us to find structure where we want to be a little bit loose. Tough love, Saturn, Godfather. What does your Saturn have to teach you? What does he want you to know or do right now? Getting that message and wisdom, jotting it down. And as you step away from Saturn, you see this strange crossing of energy in the sky, and you fly up towards this crossing of energy, and it is your north node point. the point of your destiny, your purpose, what you are here to do more than anything else. What does your North Node want you to know or do right now? Tuning into this energy portal of the North Node. What does your North Node want you to do right now? Thanking your North Node, waving goodbye. And you see in the distance a very groovy looking planet with its glorious blue. There is Uranus, the planet of sudden change, of your uniqueness, of what makes you you, the planet of innovation and change, the planet of anarchy and wildness, Uranus. There it is, your messaging planet right now. One of our generational planets, one of our 3 generational planets, the first one of those 3, tuning into Uranus, jumping onto Uranus and saying, hello, my love. What do you want me to know or do right now? Getting your message. Thanking Uranus for its gifts, and now seeing the planet Neptune, another glorious bright blue planet. This planet that represents your spirit, your soul itself, your spiritual journey. It also represents the part of you that wants to escape from the real world, the part of you that sneaks in illusions and delusions. This is magical Neptune, the planet of spirituality. What does your Neptune have for you today? What does it want you to know or do today? Jotting it down. Thanking Neptune. And then you see our final cutie, our little dwarf planet Pluto, our adorable Pluto, often misunderstood, planet of sex and transformation. Booyah! Far away but not forgotten Pluto. Want you to go straight towards Pluto now. Get on board that train and find out from Pluto, what does Pluto have to tell you? What does Pluto want you to know or do today? Jotting it down. Symbols, messages, anything, everything. And now thanking Pluto, waving goodbye to the entire solar system, our magical solar system, zipping right through, finding yourself landing back on planet Earth. And as you land back on planet Earth, I want you to see yourself right before you entering straight back through the door that you entered into the planet journey and finding yourself straight back in the creation portal. As you land back in the creation portal, you step back into the center of that space, step out of the creation portal, move immediately through your personal soulscape, right to the edge of the soulscape, waving goodbye to any messages, beings, anything that appeared spontaneously for you, finding yourself with effortless ease and grace, being absolutely taken, carried down your mountain, seeing yourself through that perfect, easeful space of open clearing, moving through the final pieces as you move through the forest path and finding that forest path landing back into your room where you are sitting right now, landing back in your body, maybe having a little shake, having a little sip of water. Big journey today through the planets. Gorgeous journey. I really enjoyed doing that. And if people just want to pop a word or two in the chat on how that was, just so I know that you are back in your center, awake, alive, and ready, because I am going to pop you guys into a breakout room. So if people can pop in the chat, if people can pop in the chat, just so that I know you are back, my loves. Back and kicking. All right, back here, ready. Back from the wilderness, kind of back, doing our best. Perfect. Thank you, my loves. That's very helpful. Okay, my loves. So we are going to go straight in the breakout rooms. Avara, I've put you in the group of three so that it will be optional for you to share or participate if you choose. But I will be treating this as though it is groups of two. And Avara, if you want to add extra bits, you can, but no pressure. So we are going to do some speed reads. We are going to do, as we do, 3 lots of speed reads. So getting ready, my darlings. I'm going to put you in the first group immediately for 2 minutes. For those of you watching the recording, I invite you to do a speed read, a 2-minute speed read on yourself. And I would love it to be something about your soul blueprint, something about anything you received in that journey, if that feels right. If not, have a question ready to go. And let's do this, and I will talk you through as I do, my darlings. Let's do it. Welcome back, my loves. Now, how did you go? Does anyone want to pop a few words in that chat? A couple of words. How did we go, darlings? Amazing, amazing. Oh my God. Great. Nuggets of wisdom. Love the speed read. So funny. Feeling the pressure. Okay, perfect. Amazing, my loves. We are going to, before we have our 2-minute break, we are going to just quickly fill out this feedback form. It literally should take about 3 minutes. It's just all just check boxes. So I have put the form just above in the chat, just above the last couple of comments. If you just scroll, you'll see the form there. Now, someone has already filled it out. Thank you, Neen, for already filling it out. For everybody else, so Neen, you can go straight to have a break if you want to. This is literally going to take you 3 minutes, and then we're going straight into our 2-minute break, whereby we will continue. So I know the form should work now. If people can just quickly fill that out, that will help me make the next 3 classes even better. And just, I want to tailor it. Can't see it either. Let me see if I can press paste again. Is that there, darling? Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thanks, guys. To those of you in the recording, if you can also take 3 minutes to fill out this feedback form, I would frickin' love you forever. I will be very grateful. I want to make this as epic as possible. So that would just be so helpful. Thank you so much, my loves. Thank you, my loves. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, those of you on the recording, we just had a small break. We are now kicking back off. And welcome back, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Now, we have had our little 2 minute break. We are now going to look at our hot master tip. And I wanted to, when I was working out the order to do this, I was initially going to tell you and sort of, I guess, teach, this segment first and then take you on the journey. But I actually thought it would be more empowering for you to go on the journey first and meet the planets yourself and come up with your own, like, personalized, embodied experience of that before I talked you through I guess my favorite way of connecting with Soul Blueprint is astrology. But we're going to briefly mention a couple of things. So, astrology and various other soul systems, so that whether or not you have your birth time, I guess what I want to reveal is some tips on how you can still use astrology and the planets to access greater information about yourself and how you can use it on a day-to-day basis in your life. So let's just go straight ahead. And our little homeboy down below, he's loving it. He's frothing over Soul Blueprint stuff. Freaking cutie. Let's do it. All right. I thought I would start by just showing you. So this, for those of you who haven't looked at an astrology chart before, this is what it looks like. This is my personal birth chart. Do not judge me for it. What can I tell you? It is not the easiest chart that anyone could have. Now, the way that astrology is one of my very favorite things in the world. It's something I've been a massive astrology nerd for about 20 years. I would say the last about 5 years really hard. And it was, I think, about 2 years ago that I did formal studies in a very specific branch of astrology called astrocartography. And that is when you get your birth chart and you spread it out over a map of the world, telling you where to go in the world to activate different parts of your chart. It is super cool. That is what inspired me to travel for 18 months, exploring my personal, how different aspects of my soul were activated when I went to different places. And it is a real thing, let me assure you. It is hectic and awesome in equal measure. So basically, I just thought I'd do a 101 on how to look at your birth chart. So if you have brought that, great. If you don't have it, no problem. I'm going to give you some links on how you can access your birth chart super easily for free. And basically, I just thought I'd do a 101, like 2 minute thing on what you're looking at. This is a typical birth chart. The houses start here, 1, 2, 3, they go around. There are 12 houses. So you probably heard the jargon, people talking about blah, blah, blah in the first house, blah, blah, blah in the 10th house. These are the houses. Each house represents a different area of your life. Now, these here, all these little symbols that you can see are the planets or the asteroids. I've included some asteroids as well because I like them and they provide for further info. So, for example, you can see here that I have my Sun, my Mercury, and my Venus all in Gemini in the 10th house of career. What that means is that I shine by doing something involving communication. Gemini is all about communication. My Mercury planet of communications there, and I freaking love talking, speaking, and writing. Venus is there. Those puppies work together. And so that's just like a super 101 on how this works. You've got your planets in different houses activating different areas of life. Every planet is in a different constellation. So all the 12 star signs are around the entire thing. And it's also the star signs are also shown there on the outside and the inside. And so basically, you can see at a glance what planet is in what star sign, showing you what kind of flavor that planet has. And the different planets, as we went through in the embodiment session, activate different parts of your soul. So that is literally just a super duper 101 on your chart. When you see your chart, you will see blue lines and red lines. Blue lines are favorable and fortuitous. They have angles that are supportive, and red lines have angles that are challenging. As you can see, I got plenty of both, okay, as do most of us. So that's just a super 101 on your chart, just removing the mystery. Yeah, that's your astrology chart. And it's basically just a snapshot of the sky the moment that you were born, okay? And telling us where the planets were spread out. And that then reveals information around your purpose, what you're here to do, and how to understand yourself, your quirks, your foibles, your challenges, all the things. It's all revealed in your astrology chart. Now, when I mentioned astro maps, that's the specialist area that I studied in. This is an actual map of India for me with the lines that I have running through India. So when you could see here that I have all those planets there together, when you then look at the maps, because I have all those planets together, they're also together on the map of the world. So here I have my Mercury line. The next white line is the Venus line, and there's the Sun, and there's the Saturn, which was in the next house. So all your chart just gets translated into the map of the world. There's 4 lots of every planetary lines across the whole world. And so you can travel purposefully activating different lines. So, for example, if someone wants to activate their life as a writer or speaker, for example, that is something I want to do, then it's recommended that you travel to your Mercury line or your Jupiter line, which is also the line of career, success, luck, and good fortune and money. So, that's just a super 101 on ways to understand, like, that there is this tool available. If you have never tapped into astrology, it is a freaking gift to the universe, to help you understand who you are. And if you are travel inclined, you can legit travel specifically to have a holiday to activate an area of your life, to find love. So that is one of the tools that I use in my work. I do astro map sessions for people, whereby they fill out a form. I ask them their core goals, and then I focus the session on helping them move or go to places to activate those areas of their life, to find a new home, to find the love of their life. So it's super exciting and super cool. I just thought it was worth mentioning because it is a thing that exists if you don't know a lot about it. We already started looking last week when we looked at moon magic at how the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So we looked at that last week, okay? Every 2.5 days, the moon is in a new sign, as you can see here. What I wanted to mention was the other planets, how long they take, because this is something you can just friggin' Google, right? And just find out, hey, you might just be inspired and go, hey, by the way, what's Venus in right now? I'm just curious what Venus is in right now, because I thought I'd just help you, give you guys a little tip on how you can do this just by Googling. These planets in pink here, the Moon, Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, as I said in the journey that I took you in, these are the planets that are the personal planets that have a very direct impact on who you are as a human being, on your soul blueprint. These are the ones that have the most impact. So when you because they change signs, constellations, they move from one constellation to the next very, very quickly, 1 month for these three, 2 months for Mars, and a couple of days for the moon. Because they're constantly on the move, what that means is that every time they move, they will trigger and shine a light on another part of your chart. Okay. And that means that different parts of you get activated constantly by what is called transits or planets on the move. So I don't want to get too complicated and freak you out and crack your brain. I just wanted you to know that all you need to do, if you feel inclined to, and if you don't, zero problema. But if you feel inclined to, all you need to do is just Google, where is Venus right now? Where is Mars right now? And it will tell you and once you find out what it's in, you say, when did Mars move into whatever? Leo. When is Mars leaving Leo? And then for 2 months, Mars has this energy of this particular activation. Okay. Now, just letting you know without going into detail, Jupiter and Saturn and the North Node, they take about a year to 3 years per sign. And the outer, so they're the social planets, and they also impact our personality, but not as much. The outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they're called generational planets because they move slowly. So they impact an entire generation. So you've got for 12 to 20 years, a whole generation will have Pluto in X. And so they have a generational impact. That's why we have different vibe generations, baby boomers, the whole thing, because we're all being impacted by Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus's massive, grand impact on energetically, presenting like a theme, or a foundation for the next 7, 15, 20 years. So hopefully that makes sense. And I just wanted to show you, for those of you who are interested in knowing how transits impact you, hopefully this isn't too high tech and I'm not going to go on about it, but I just wanted to do like 2 minutes. So that's my chart on the inside. So if I'm going to give you the links in the email that I send you. But if you ever wanted to know how are the transits impacting me personally, this is what a transit chart looks like. Your personal chart will be on the inside, and the transits moving around the sky, orbiting or moving around the sky, are on the outside. So that shows you, for example, right now, I've got Uranus and the sun, right impacting all that stellium that I have there. I've got, Chiron is still in friggin' Aries. It's been there for bloody 7 years or something. It's doing my head in, but anyway, it's a long, slow moving thing that takes forever. So that is still activating my Chiron, but finally starting to move away from it, right? But these are all in Aries, all impacting that house of sex and transformation for me. Okay, so that's just looking at transits. And the final thing that I wanted to say, I'm going to send you the links to AstroSeek links to just type in. I'm going to send you a link that will give you this screen to get your birth chart for free, and a link to give you this screen, which will give you transits anytime you want them, and you can have those links to keep. Super, super, super easy. Now, for those of you who don't jam with astrology, I just wanted to give 2 other options for you. I know that a lot of you have done a lot of work with human design. This is my personal human design chart. Once again, don't judge me for it or attack me for it. I love human design. I'm not as into it as astrology. It's just not as natural for me. I find it a little bit clunkier to read as a language, but I know that some people totally froth over it, and I definitely have found it super useful. There's a whole bunch of free, if you type in free human design chart, a whole bunch of people will want you to put in your email and get your free chart. A million options. So I'm not going to give you one. You just type it into Google and you will have 5 billion options. So you will then receive your chart, which will look something like this. The thing that I find most useful is actually the top little table in your chart. It'll tell you what type you are. For example, I'm a manifesting generator, and it will tell you what works best for you. For example, for me, it's to respond, which means it works best for me rather than when I'm creating things, rather than to just create everything from scratch, to actually respond to something that inspires me and to use that as an ignition to jump into and create further steps from. I have found that to be very accurate. Another thing that I find very helpful is this not self theme. Mine is frustration, and whatever yours is, I just find it absolutely accurate. When I am off track, I get frustrated, and that word will be different depending on what you are and what that not self theme is. So I won't go into much more there. One final thing I'll say, this incarnation cross is epic. It's basically a life purpose. Two-sentence thing that just defines your core life mission, and it is accurate as all hell, like friggin' amazing actually. So I definitely recommend it. It combines astrology with the I Ching with a bunch of stuff, and it forms its own magical juju. Some guy had a dream, channeled the whole thing. So if that resonates, human design. The final one I wanted to mention was I don't even know how to say this, Enneagram. I think that's how you say it. The reason I'm mentioning it is some people don't have their birth time. And if you don't have your birth time, then the Enneagram is a fabulous way. It's a personality assessing tool. And so I have not done mine personally, but I know some people are really into it and find it very supportive. And there's whole workshops and stuff on it. So just Google, I'm 100% sure there's YouTube channels on it, all the things. So that is another tool that's available for you. I would definitely say pick, pick one, find the one that resonates the most and dive in to find out. The more you find about yourself, I find it absolutely life-changing. As I said, for me, I'm an astrology hardcore nerd. And I have found that once I started, really what I did was I got my chart and then I looked up YouTube videos, for example, of Sun in Gemini, and just looked up YouTube 10-minute videos, Mercury in Gemini, Venus in Gemini, Moon in Aries, Chiron in Aries. That's literally what you're doing. You're just reading the planet. You can just get the symbols from anywhere and then the constellation. Okay. And then you just look up YouTube videos, and it is freaking life changing. The compassion that you will have for who you are as a being. And just a final thing for those of you who don't have your birth time, you can still put in an approximation because, as I said, because most of these don't move that quickly, they take a month. You're going to be able to find out what most of your things are, even without a birth time. What you may not know is what house it's in. That you're going to need an exact birth time. But even if you know the day, you can still find out all these things about you, what constellation it's in, and you can still Google that and get epic information. So that is the last piece I wanted to say about that. How are we going for time? We're doing well. All right. We're going to do a very quick breakout room, a super duper quickie one. And we're going to do 2 minutes each in the same room. And I just invite you to share. You can use this breakout room 2 minutes each in whatever way you want, darling. You can either share, so you're going to be with the same person, right? So you can either share, or you can do a little reading around anything you want around tools or soul blueprint. Let me grab this breakout room. It should already be set up. Yes, we are set up. Okay, and I'm going to send you guys straight in now, my darlings. To those of you watching the recording, my loves, I invite you to also do two-minute readings for yourself to really tune into, is there something that astrology or a soul blueprint can give you? Perhaps even giving you guidance on what to access or how to access it, any information around your soul blueprint, or any type of mini reading around your tools and how to further activate your gifts. See you in a moment, my loves. Welcome back, darlings. How do we go? Do you want to pop in the chat? How do we go, darlings? How do we go? Amazing. Great. Alrighty. We are boss vibes here. Talk about astrology juju all day long. Yeah, believe me, it was really hard. I was yesterday going, how can I, just give a golden nugget that could actually be life-changing when I have run full weekend workshops. So clearly I'm not afraid of talking about astrology. All right, amazing, darlings. Amazing. Now we are going to do a final segment, which is okay, beautiful, lovely ticketing. Oh, nice, good vibes. Oh, I'm feeling the good vibes. Yeah. And Audrey and Abby, you both are in Northern Rivers. In case you don't know that, I'm letting you know. So who knows? If there's a nice connection, you may want to connect. Okay. Oh, and you, honey. Everyone, I'm loving the love. All right, my darlings. Final home stretch of our friggin' tarot journey. Let's do this. Let's do this. As we know, we journeyed through the swords, through our thinking. We journeyed through the cups and we mastered our emotions. We journeyed through the wands. We started taking action and we journeyed through the pentacles, whereby we started getting some results in our lives. And then we started the journey of the major arcana because we were ready. We had activated sufficient coolness and we were ready. So last week, for anybody who was away last week, just a super 2 minute overview of the 11 cards we did last week and the journey and where we're up to so far. We started the major arcana with the Fool. That is us stepping into a brand new adventure of life. Pack of absolute legends, but a little bit like innocent, a little bit like clueless bunny. If he doesn't look out, he's going to fall off the cliff. The little dog had to yap at him to say, "Hey, dude, reel it in. Let's get some structure, some boundaries. Let's work out what you're doing on this journey. You're going to need a bit of a plan." And so we became the magician. We realized and remembered that we have all our gifts. We've already mastered. There's the 4 different suits that we mastered. We've got our epic tool, our activation tool, our amulet. We're connected to all that is. We've got the courage in the background, and that then brought us into the high priestess, whereby we remembered, just to anyone who isn't on mute, if you can pop yourself on mute, please, darlings. Thank you, my loves. We stepped into the high priestess, whereby it's about we activated our intuition. We remembered that life is full of light and dark, but we were the boss. We activated our juju. We knew that we had strength and we had magic. This was also the reminder that life is both light and shadowy, the pomegranate linking us to Persephone in the underworld, who spends half her time with Hades and half her time on the earth. Then we moved into the Empress and the Emperor, the wonder couple, showing us both sides of bringing in abundance and goodness coming from that space of intuition. Absolutely wonderful. Venus there to support the Empress in a soft way, and this more structured energy in bringing in a more masculine type of creation and results. From there, we moved into the Hierophant. We went and got some support. We found a mentor, some more structure to our intuition. We started walking the path of the lovers, really acknowledging that we're here to walk a path of love. And we moved in, then we took action and started this journey. We jumped onto our chariot, led by these 2 sphinxes, black and white sphinx, once again reminding us that good and evil, good and bad, light and dark, they exist, but he's got his amulet, he's got his protection, which is really the wisdom that he's carried. He's connected to all the stars. Epic stuff happening in the chariot as he moves forward. And then that brought us into this place of strength where we started realizing, damn, I'm doing really well here. This beautiful being who the lion yields open its jaws with zero force or effort because of the energy and presence of this magnificent being. That then brought us into the hermit, whereby we went within and we were like, what do I need to do now? Is there something I've missed? missed. And then we were reminded with our final card last week and left on our little cliffhanger that, hey, don't get too cocky because life can spin the dial like a roulette wheel, and life is going to bring you what it's going to bring you. There's things that are for you, there's things that are not for you. There is this wheel of fortune spinning, and destiny will take a hand. And that is where we are up to as we step into the final 11 cards of the major arcana. And so straight after the Wheel of Fortune, we move into the Justice card. So there we are. We've spun the wheel. We don't know what's going to happen. We spin the wheel, but where does the wheel land on? The wheel lands on a weird place. And the wheel says justice. That's where the wheel lands. And the wheel says, do you know what? FYI, karma is going to get you in the end, because justice will inevitably prevail. So what this card is about, it's saying despite the ups and downs of life, as above, so below. We can see in the Justice card that there is this kind of hardcore energy in the character of this card. Let me just show you. Let me show you up close. Let me just change my video so that I can show you. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now I want to be able to show you. There we go. Should be able to see that better. Okay. There is our Justice card up close, my darlings. And as you can see, where do I put it so that I'm trying to work out where to put it so it's not annoying me. Okay. So as you can see in this card, he's got the sword and he's got the scales. Okay. So actually it's a she, apparently, even though it looks quite masculine, I think, in the energy. But there is this sword that would just cut through BS, and the scales are there just saying, you know what? All will be righted in the end. So this is kind of like that reminder that no matter how tough life gets, in the end, goodness is going to prevail, and what is right and just and fair is going to come through in the end. That is the Justice card. The crown is there to represent like this authority, almost like this universal authority of the universe and the world, saying what is right, like karma will take over, like justice will be friggin' done. Yeah, so that is the Justice card, my loves. And that then brings us into this crazy bunny, right? The Hanged Man. God bless us. This little set of 5 cards is classic. The Hanged Man here. Look, most people look at the Hanged Man and you think that is not okay. Homeboy's hanging by a foot. What is friggin' happening? But I'm going to explain what's happening. And the Hanged Man is actually an epic card. So this is what's going on. We remember we've spun the wheel and we remember we got justice and we go, that's right, it's all going to be okay in the end. But then you go, what do I need to know now? What do I need to know now? Because maybe I need to see things from a higher perspective. Believe it or not, there is a group of people who have actually slept in this position. Apparently Merlin occasionally slept in this position in order to receive different perspectives via dreams. There's a bunch of people noted in mythology that apparently slept in this position. What tells us that this is not a bad card, but rather an interesting card, is the halo around the Hanged Man. Okay, so the halo around the Hanged Man, trying to do multiple things. Okay, halo around the Hanged Man tells us that wait on, he's actually not being tortured. He's seeking illumination and he's willing to do whatever he needs to get it. This card is about being willing to do what is necessary to get a higher perspective. That is what this card is about. Now, with the Hanged Man, he's willing. He's hanging there going, all right, Spirit, show me. All right, Spirit, what have you got for me? And he's there, he goes to sleep in this position and he's just ready to receive the gifts of illumination. And what are the guests that want to come to him to illuminate the wisdom? He's got some freaking fascinating little guests who come like a trilogy of this dinner party. hashtag like not my favorite. But actually, they are not as dark as they would appear. So they are here. What he asked for was a new perspective, and what these three guests who land, you can do your story whatever way you want. They may, if you want them to come up to him and actually appear before him on that cross, you can make it that way. If you want them to come to him in a dream, you can make it that way. Whatever way resonates most for you. But these three appear to him. The first visitor we get is death. Let's talk about this card. Most people freak out. This is one of the reasons I did not use this deck for my 20 years of client work, was because people used to fricking lose their minds if you pull the death card. The death card is not about physical death. It can be, but that is definitely not the core aim of the card. This card is about endings and beginnings. So we see here death. Death comes in not looking mean and he's not bearing any weapons, right? He's bearing a freaking flag of growth and renewal. He's on a white horse that shows that it's just what is. There's the black of his armor and there's the white of the horse, just saying things die, things end. It's part of the cycle of life. We have a few things revealing more information. We have a king here with his crown tossed aside there, showing us that no matter what you've achieved, death and endings come to everyone. We have the bishop here telling us no matter what spirituality you've achieved, death comes to everyone. But the difference here is that he was fighting death, whereas the bishop comes in saying, whenever my time is, no problemo. We have everyday humans coming in, observing the whole death process. In the background, we have the same illumination continuing, right, from the hanged man, opening up into the gates of heaven, into something new, a new world. That is where we're heading. And so we know death is bringing renewal and goodness, okay? There's a little boat, once again, like taking you to the other realm, to the other lands. This is not a bad card. This is a card of absolute change. Okay, something's ending and beginning. Then we have the Temperance card coming in. The Temperance card is all about the visit of this. So then we have this angel visiting saying, okay, let's not forget that you've had your visitor from death saying, homie, things are going to end and prepare, because sometimes things are not going to go your way. Then we have a visitor from the Temperance card. Temperance is here to tell you, do you know what? Sometimes life gives you things that you don't adore. And it's about remembering to have balance in all things. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. She's pouring the cups between the earth. She's got the square and the triangle between the earth and the physical, the earth and the spiritual. Once again, we see the illumination. We know that we still have a path to go. We're not there yet, but the illumination is there continuing through that journey. The angel has come to say, find balance in your life. That is the Temperance card. Then we get our third guest visitor while we're hanging off the freaking little thing there, off that, whatever you want to call it. That it's got a special name, that type of cross. But while you're hanging off that epic alchemy cross, then we are presented with the devil. Okay, the devil once again gets a pretty bad rap. The devil is, he's basically our shadows. And as we know, if we don't face our shadows, we're generally not going to be able to step fully into our light and anchor the life that we desire. So the devil is a reminder that there's no escaping the shadow. Once again, we have our lovers from the Lover card, but in another form. They have got, some chains around their neck, but the chains are loose, showing us that if they choose, they can remove those chains anytime we want. We have this half goat, half man representing the devil. Once again, as above, so below, mirroring the Justice card, as above, so below. All things are going to come to pass, but the devil warns us, do not run from your shadows, puppy, because there's no running from them and they will come to bite you. And we have two other things I want to just mention about this card. The devil's got his claws literally over Pandora's little box, right? That is the box of secrets, the stuff we bury and hide. The devil's here to remind you there's no hiding that, puppy. It's going to show up in your life somehow. Face it, go there, face the shadow. I'm here to help you. Let's move through this. We've got the fire from the tree of life, and we've got the grapes from the tree of knowledge showing us that, you can, if there's too much lust or too much gluttony, it kind of opens up that question of the seven deadly sins. If there's too much of anything, it's going to bite us. So it's about face what your personal little shadows are, face them, meet them head on with the devil, and then let's see what comes next. Booyah! So you get these three guests, right? Three little visitors. They give you the wisdom and the knowledge that you need. And then what happens? Booyah! The friggin' tower. A lightning bolt comes and strikes your foot while you're hanging on that little epic cross, smashes you down the cross, but not straight to the ground. It sends you into a portal of time, spinning you into the nether regions, and it burns down something in your life. Something that had to end, that death gave you a pre-warning, right? Something that may have needed shadow alchemy or may have needed more balance. And what happens in the Tower card is it's like, here, we don't know whether these people, are they flying or are they falling? And really, it's up to you. This card is about profound change, whether you want it or not. It is upheaval. It is also liberation. This card is saying you have the choice to fly or fall. Face the change. You're coming out of that freaking tower. And when you fall through that portal, you land in this epic place that is the star. The star is so freaking divine, okay? The star is so freaking divine. As we can see, you land in the star. The star is, you land naked. You land naked with two little urns, pouring the water both into the pond and into the earth. We've had many cards with rivers and they end in this pond in the star. This is the first card where you emerge after all those guest visitations of hectic insight. That was a little bit tough love, and you emerge renewed from the wisdom, from facing your shadows, from finding balance. There's a beautiful little bird there as this guide and guardian to help you continue on the path. We can see that the mountain is closer now. We've got all these beautiful stars and this deep shining light. The seven stars are about the seven chakras. We bring that balance into our physical body. This eight-pointed star is just like the epicness, the magnificence, the magic of life. We are walking the path. Life is everywhere, everywhere. It's so beautiful. There's so much harmony because we've been doing the work. And then you have a little power kip, right? You lay down by that pond, you have a little power kip, and you start going into your dreams, right? The moon represents the dream world. And here in the moon, we have represented a dog representing the part of us that's tame, a wolf representing the part of us that's wild, and this lobster coming out representing our reptilian brain, the part that is just way buried in the subconscious that is a default. We have once again these two pillars showing us that we are so close now. We're really getting close. We're not afraid of the shadows and our dream world. We're starting to receive and interact with the mystery of life itself. We know that some things are full of illusions, but we can move forward and receive our guidance. We've got the sun and the moon shining down upon us. And as I said, we're getting closer. The path is closer. The portal entries are right there. That is the moon. Awesome. And we wake up from our frickin' little nap and we wake up ready to embody the sun. We are getting so close to the end of this journey now. The sun there, we have 21 shards of light representing rays, representing the other 21 major arcana cards. We have four sunflowers representing the four suits. We have a white horse, once again reflecting the death card that we moved through change successfully. But this time, there's almost the energy of the fool again, an innocent child riding the horse all the way to the end. Once again, with the feather, the same feather that the fool had, the same red feather, and this big red flag or banner linking the major arcana to the minor. This wall representing that we've learned boundaries and we are just fully in tune, does not need to hold on to any reins, does not need anything at all. He is just, the horse is guiding him. He is an absolute champion stepping forward as the sun with illuminated on the final part of the journey. We're so close, two cards left, bringing us to this epic card of judgment. This is the second last card, and here we have Archangel Gabriel with a trumpet playing music saying, I celebrate you, you freaking boss. You have made it through the entire freaking deck. That is a lot of cards, and you have nailed it like a champion. And he is literally rising people from the dead to sing and dance and praise you and celebrate the journey that you have done. There is so much joy and life and activation. And in this card, it is saying, all is possible. Anything can rise from the dead. It's literally like anything is possible when you embody that sun, and the angels are shouting it down from the rooftops for you, bringing us to the final card, my loves. The final card of our journey, the world. The world is our completion, our wholeness, our voyage. And here we have, what I love about this card is we have this wreath surrounding the card suggesting the full circle of life. So yeah, the journey's ended, right? But we have this sense that we're going to start right back at the beginning again, you know? And here we have this character in the card looking to the past, but with their feet moving to the future. They have, so showing us the connection of all time. They have their talisman or amulet, right, which they got in the magician, but they've got another one representing their anchoring and connecting to the world itself. We've got the four elements represented with those four critters around the outside. And this card is it shows this sense. We have this purple robe wrapped around, you know, as this like connection to spirit and activation of that crown chakra. The overall nakedness, except for that little tiny sort of scarf thing, just shows us like we're liberated, we're free, we're not hiding. You know, this is the completion of the journey. That is the path, my darlings. And that is, you know, then brings us into that final completion. Just quickly going to wrap up our outcomes. We nailed, you know, activating some of our tool stuff today. So just celebrating all of you for doing that, darlings. Big celebration for those of you who did that. Celebrating you for doing that, my loves. And reminder, next week, we're going to go further with our sacred tools and remedies and healing capacities. I also was guided just this morning, actually, to tell you guys to bring anything representing your inner child next week. We're going to do some deep inner child work next week. So anything representing that. The next practice party is in week 9 after class, and And just a reminder for those of you who aren't in the hub, if you want to meet each other, support each other, join there. I also wanted to let you know that I have started a YouTube channel. I've just launched it a few days ago, and I'm starting to do readings for the collective, a collective which may resonate with you. And I'm going to be doing very regular readings, probably 2 or 3 a week as guided. So if you feel to go there, it is just Aaila Greene, and I will put a link to that in the email that I send you. That is us complete for today. Thank you so, 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 so much. I send you every blessing in the world. And until next time, be well, stay magical, and I will catch you in the next one, my darlings. Ciao, ciao.